And here is the reported trade. Massive deal between the Calgary Flames and Philadelphia Flyers. Joel Farabee and Morgan Frost to the Flames. Andrei Kuzmenko, Jake Peltier, second and seventh rounders to the Flyers. Farabee has $5 million AAV for 3 more seasons after this year. Frost is making $2.1 million this year and will be a restricted free agent at the end of this season. Both Kuzmenko and Peltier are free agents at the end of the season. Kuzmenko a UFA, Peltier an RFA. Oh boy, this is a fun way to start the show, and I'm so excited to talk to our Director of Scouting, Craig Button, from Calgary, fresh off the pickleball court. He took some time to join us, so Craig, I'm so thankful that you did that. So, Calgary gets Frost and Farabee in exchange for Kuzmenko and Peltier. How do you think Craig Conroy did in the deal, and what will Frost and Farabee bring to this team?
Yeah, I think Craig Conroy made a really, really strong trade for his team. Listen, they're not a very good offensive team. They struggle to score goals. So what do? You try to find offense in different ways. Morgan Frost is shown to be a very good offensive player. Joel Farabee, for whatever reason, seemed to have fallen out of favor in Philadelphia. But he's another really good player. He can grind on the boards. He can grind at the net. He can kill penalties. He adds offense. You just pointed out, Jay, he's got 3 more years after this one at a $5 million cap hit. So when you think about Craig Conroy trying to find offense, trying to find players that fit into a certain age group, I mean, Joel Farabee is going to be part of what they're doing to try to move forward with a really good young prospect group. Now Joel Farabee comes in, Morgan Frost, a fresh start. We've seen him be very productive. But when you look at a team's weakness, a general manager's job is to try to address that. That's exactly what Craig Conroy did. Kuzmenko wasn't scoring for him. He was a healthy scratch. Peltier, he was up and down. He'd returned to the NHL and played quite well. And the dollars are really significant here for the Calgary Flames. I don't think it hinders them in any way. So this is a real strong trade for Craig Conroy, where he's absolutely approved his team today and for the coming years. That's what you're trying to do. Outstanding.
Perfect best case scenario for Farabee and Frost, Craig. They're both in the top 6 by next season.
Well, no, next season. How about right this season? I mean, Michael Backlund's your third-line center. Nazem Kadri's played in your top group. And now you got 2 more skilled players. They're right now in their top 6, Jay. There's no question. And to try to get more skill, try to get more balance in your lineup, I mean, they try to scale players up the lineup, and they're not fits. You try to find those right fits. This is outstanding for Craig Conroy and the Calgary Flames. Because as I said, today and moving forward, Farabee's going to be a big part of what they're doing going forward.
I'll say this, Craig, the negative reaction from Flyers fans is usually a good sign that it's a good deal for Craig Conroy. I wanted to ask you this, and I'm going to preface this with a fact from Thursday's Flyers-Islanders game. We're going to show it to you later in the show, but John Tortorella and Matvei Michkov got into a screaming match during a TV timeout after Michkov blew an assignment, and then Michkov was benched for the rest of the game. That was in the second period. That leads me to my question, Craig. How do you think Andrei Kuzmenko is going to do in Philadelphia?
Listen, Andrei Kuzmenko is probably going to be a healthy scratch, just like he was in Calgary. He just hasn't found a form. Maybe he'll go there with a little bit of a spark. Bottom line is, Matvei Michkov is not the first player that's gotten into the crosshairs of John Tortorella. Here's the beautiful thing about John Tortorella, and we saw it earlier in the year. He's trying to help the young player become a better player. And sometimes you got to take a little bit more of a harder tact, and that's exactly what John Tortorella did. But John Tortorella doesn't hold grudges. He'll sit down, he'll talk to Matvei Michkov, point out what he's got to do. And now it's up to Michkov to go out there and do the things that he's capable of doing. Blowing assignments is just not acceptable. When you get to this level and you want to be a winning team, now keep this in mind, Jay. The Philadelphia Flyers are trying to move in a direction to be successful and compete. They're in a playoff hunt. They get shut out versus the Islanders on this Thursday night. But at the same time, John Tortorella knows what it takes to win, and he's trying to instill that in his players. That's all this is. Andrei Kuzmenko, to me, try to balance out the salary that was going out the other way. I think the Philadelphia Flyers have cleared some space to try to do some bigger things. whether it be now to try to make a trade to add some players or whether it be when they get to the summer. They've had enough time to evaluate their team and evaluate their group. So I think the exodus of Morgan Frost and Joel Farabee is about setting them up to do other things. And I think for John Tortorella and any player, whatever your name is, Michkov, Kuzmenko, just know this. You want to blow assignments? You might have John Tortorella blow his top.
We are going to see if Frost and Farabee make their Flames debut Saturday when Calgary hosts Detroit. Craig Button, you're awesome. Thanks for this.